taller, stronger, and noticeably greener. I know because I had it done. Homeowners across Jags are starting to find out. Make your yard the one everybody talks about. Do like I did. Call 888-850-1850 or visit topdressing.com.
Frank Frangie here from my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Fish know where to hide. Captain Kevin knows how to find them.
That's a big one.
Listen for the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. I am attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow. 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyoublow.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Florida sun, hurricane winds, driving rain. Your roof takes a daily beating. That's why Endless Summer Roofing installs fortified roofs. Engineered for Florida with superior wind protection and impact resistance. Better yet, a fortified roof may even qualify you for insurance discounts. A stronger roof and potentially lower insurance bills? That's a win-win. Endless Summer Roofing. Built, fortified, built for Florida. Visit endlesssummerroofing.com.
Hi, Frank Frangie here, inviting you to join my wife and me June 22nd of 2027 as we experience the food, wine, and culture of iconic Italy with Colette. Our journey takes us to historic cities and enchanting medieval towns. We'll enjoy a wonderful 7-night stay in the Montecatini Term A famous resort and spa town nestled in the heart of the rolling hills of Tuscany. Visit the cultural treasures of Florence, Pisa, and lovely Lucca. Along the way, we'll discover the food, wine, and old world charm, and even have a special chef-led cooking class. This and so much more. Colette handles the details, flights, hotels, meals, and the local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss joining my wife and me in Italy. Now, to learn more, visit 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942.
Come away with me.
That's 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942.
I'm Chair Justice with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Gators running back Jaden Ball has been named to the Doak Walker Award watch list. ESPN's Mike DeRocco is reporting that Parker Washington and Wyatt Milam are day-to-day with undisclosed injuries but are expected to return to camp next week. Running back Quint Allen suffered a soft tissue injury on Monday and will not return for training camp. Missed anything from training camp? Check out the 1010XL Jags YouTube page for reactions, exclusive interviews, and more. And remember, tickets for all the home games at Everbank this season are available at Jaguars.com. It's 80 degrees at 6 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller. Aaron Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Lessons can be very difficult. I don't think there's any question about it, whether you played sports, or just going through your normal life, right? We're always told there's a major difference between being injured and hurt. Hurt and injured, okay? Hurt to me is mild. You know, it's basically pretty general. it can be emotional, right? Look what happens when you win a ball game. What do? You get in the face of the loser and you point your finger right at him and you say, "You suck," right? That's emotional. That could bother you. Words could bother you. Women's words, they could call you, "Well, you're not really a man," and whatever it may be, okay? And you bring in emotion, you bring in everything else when you talk about getting hurt. That can also absolutely apply to being a kid, taking your ball and going home, right? I mean, we have to give trophies to everyone nowadays because we don't want to hurt their feelings. So even if they win 2 or 3 ball games, get them a trophy anyway. And we've seen it go all the way to the level of collegiate athletics, where instead of competing and trying to win a starting job, just transfer and go somewhere else instead of dealing with adversity. Injured. That's specific. That is specific. There's no question about it. That is structural, physical damage to the body. That is severe. That is time off. Okay? And Cole Van Lannon, there's an injury, a torn ACL. Patrick McCarry, there's an injury. Last night, a reported back surgery. We don't know when. We don't know how significant. I got a better chance of getting information from the Pentagon than I do on Patrick McCarry. But it makes sense now. I mean, we wondered. I said yesterday, it's time. It's time. Play him, right? It's one or the other. Well, now we know he's going to be shelved for at least, a while longer. But that's where this football team is today. Are they injured or are they hurt? And if it's the latter, which you hope for most, is this football team just being overcautious? That's best case scenario. That's what you got to hope right now when you think about Wyatt Milam, when you think about Chuma Edoga, when you think about certainly what was announced a little bit earlier today with LaQuinn Allen Jr., even though it's soft tissue. You know, what I mean by that is if there was realistically a game this Sunday, would he be able to go? People are beginning to freak out. I don't have an answer for you, okay? The one thing I do appreciate about this organization, about this franchise, is I think they are very fluid. And everything changes. We saw them take off pads late yesterday and then went through a couple of periods. Today's practice was supposed to go to 10:50. It was only in shells. They quit that about 20 minutes early. Again, I don't know if they designed that pre-practice. Not sure. I'm just looking at my schedule. And again, it was cut somewhat shorter than what was expected. Then you get to tomorrow, and this becomes enormous because Liam Cohen said to us yesterday, he's considering playing starters. He wants to do that on Friday night. I don't think he wants to do that. I think he's asking himself and his staff, do these guys need live reps? Now, in my opinion, tomorrow morning against Carolina, if they knock it out of the park and have an outstanding morning offensively and defensively, then I'd be surprised if the starters go on Friday night. Some will go. Ventrell Miller will go. A few others, the tight ends will go, the rookies, whatever it may be. But if they do not have an outstanding practice, which they did not against New Orleans last week, then yeah, I think you're going to see them, at least in the first quarter, get a couple of series both offensively and defensively. I mean, there's certain guys, regardless of what the situation is, who aren't going to see the field. I wouldn't play Travis Hunter. I wouldn't do it. You're not going to play Parker Washington now because he's out for the remainder of the week. We don't know what the injury is, right? That was announced today. Wyatt Milam still beaten up. He's going to be out for the remainder of the week. A missed opportunity here for Milam. Now, I look at Wyatt Milam and I look at Jalen McLeod, two guys who a year ago clearly were injured. Well, now all of a sudden, as they just begin year number 2, they're dealing with, are they hot tub guys only? Yeah, they pick up a lot of activity. Yeah, especially Wyatt Milam. He's thrown out there all the time. He's a conversation piece for every single member of the Jaguars media and certainly Jaguars fans. He's a huge part of the future. There's always something wrong with them. Okay? But again, is he injured or is he hurt? And if it is the latter, does it make sense to play him? He's not going to go tomorrow. We know that. He's not going to go Friday night. We know that. What about with the double billing next week against Tampa? Is he available to play then? Or does he sit out that as well? And, you don't see him a week from Friday night against the Buccaneers. I don't know. I really don't. And to me, this is fascinating. It feels like the doom and gloom is hit. And this is what I got for you. It happens everywhere. It's how you handle this. How do you handle adversity? I mean, crying out loud, look at Carolina who comes in tomorrow. What was it, during the OTAs or was it during day one of training camp when Nick Scorton went down, gone for the year? I was reading some Carolina stuff earlier today. Their starting tackles are out tomorrow. All right? Ikwanu's not going to go. Taylor Moton's not going to go. So you'd like to see Hines Allen. You'd like to see Walker. You'd like to see these young pass rush ends. If it is B.J. Green who's getting, some first reps, whatever the situation may be, well, you're not even going up against starting tackles in your second opportunity to go head-to-head with an NFL team. So I just want to be, crystal clear about this. There's a little bit of why does everything always happen to me type of feeling coming from a lot of Jaguars fans. This happens all the time. And you got to find a way to manage it. What I really do hope is that they are being cautious and that some of these guys who did not work out again today or were on a limited basis today. I mean, today limited, you had Jordan Lewis, you had Quentin Morris, you had Jalen McLeod. Can those three go if there was a game this Sunday? Can 2 of the 3 go? Will Morris even make the team? Will McLeod make the team? As Yasir Abdullah, who's kind of like Jason Voorhees, right? Every time you think he's done and gone, he just reappears. And 15 snaps last, Saturday on special teams. He still doesn't make a lot of plays at linebacker. I mean, the play he made during the game is the best play of his career. He just doesn't make them. But Heath Farwell is going to want him on his team as the special teams coordinator. Okay, good news today for the Jaguars. The return of Walker Little. All of a sudden, he's very important again, right? I think you forget about the days of him being a left tackle. I think there's a real good opportunity that on September 13th against Cleveland, he is either your starting right tackle or your starting right guard. I happen to think right guard is his best position. If I was to rank what he has done, I think in order, he is the best at right guard, then left tackle, then right tackle. I think it's his third. I think it is absolutely his worst position on the offensive line. He was starting there today. All right. Offensive line, if you missed it, lined up like this. Anton Harrison, left tackle. Emmanuel Pregnon, left guard. Robert Hainsey, center. Ezra Cleveland, okay, got some work in yesterday at right tackle, got quite a bit of work in at right tackle. Today playing right guard. And the aforementioned Walker Little at right tackle. Jonah Monheim getting a lot of work in today as well at the right guard position. I like what they've done with Monheim. He's worked now at all three positions. Again, I think he's your starting center in a year, but he's become really a swing guy that if something happens in game at center, left or right guard, they can absolutely, I believe, lean on Jonah Monheim now to fill any one of those three responsibilities. So, I know Walker Little's not necessarily popular right now at this particular time in Duval. It's a real good opportunity for him, right? Best case scenario would be the return of Cole Van Lannon. I think right now, realistically, where this football team is, right? Realistically, I think your left side's Anton Harrison, and you're going to have to go with the rookie in Emmanuel Pregnon. It's a little bit premature. As I just said with Frank and Hayes, I'm sure the perfect situation would have been, let's get through at least a month. Let's get him more work, on a daily basis, that everything goes into being a professional, a starter in the NFL. But it doesn't look as though that is going to be the case. I think he is going to be asked to answer right in week one. Okay, Hainsey, your center. And if I was betting right now, I'd go Cleveland right guard, and I would go Cole Van Lannon right tackle. Now, I may be way out of bounds on Cole Van Lannon. He may not be ready. And we don't know. I watch him every single day work. He looks good in gym shorts in a jersey. His rehabilitation, out of respect for the injured, okay, and he clearly is. He's not hurt. He's coming back from an injury. I'm never going to talk about anything that is rehab, all right, because they don't want you to, and I respect that. But my eyes say, man, he looks good. Just kind of like when you saw Travis Hunter back during the summer, during OTAs and during mandatory and before that voluntary minicamp, you just knew that Hunter was ready. But they didn't let him get out there. This isn't a Cole Van Lannon situation where he's sticking his head in the huddle every play the way that Hunter, in fact, did. But it appears to me that he's real close. I just don't know what the timetable is right now for the Jaguars. So we got a lot to do over the next couple of hours. And, we may look back on this and say, it was bumps and bruises in training camp, and what they decided to do was put all of these guys on the shelf, okay? And it pays off, wonderfully for the organization. The flip side could be, oh boy, there are venomous snakes in Duval, and this team has been crushed. And can they recover from that? Going to be fascinating. No question about it as we dive even deeper into training camp. All right, tonight's program is brought to you by Shmunez Vision. It happens every day now on my way to work, and I shouldn't call this work. This is a pleasure. Hell, I do it for free. If if there was something that is constant this time of year, is coming to work in the pouring rain, okay? And it's sideways. It's just insane the way that it is. Good thing I have 2020. How about you? How about your eyes? Starting to get darker a little bit earlier now, as I guess we're headed towards fall in the mid part of August. It's amazing to me how people continuously push away getting your eyes checked. I'll get to it. Well, you know what? It's time to get to it. Shmunez Vision, make yourself an appointment today. Go in for an examination. They will tell you about your eyes. How healthy are they? Do you need a new prescription? Then you can start firing away questions, particularly, what about laser eye surgery? Very affordable. And you have 37 plus years worth of experience with Dr. Neil Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt. So check them out today. Owned and operated, 3 generations worth right here in Duval. They are all about Jacksonville, and they're all about your best value. All right. Check them out online, Shmunez Vision. Also go to Instagram, get all of the testimonials at Shmunez Vision. Ryan O'Halloran in 20 minutes. Jabbar Muhammad coming up at 7 o'clock. And your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Injured and hurt. Hurt and injured. As always, we do welcome your opinion.
Denny Hamlin.
I'm Denny Hamlin, driving the number 11 Toyota Camry for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Denny Hamlin wins his second Daytona 500.
And you're listening to 1010 XL, Jax Sports Radio.
Hey, Tom McManus here from Helmets and Heels. You count on your vehicle every day. Whether it's getting to the job site, hauling the family around, or heading out for the game, it needs to be ready when you are. At Tom Bush Mazda, we service all makes and models. Oil changes, brakes, tires, diagnostics, major repairs. We do it all. Don't wait until a small problem turns into a big one. Make the smart play and schedule your service with Tom Bush Mazda today. Visit Tom Bush Family of Dealerships and see why so many drivers keep coming back.
I'm Rick Ballou. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and all-day celebration for sports fans. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states, including right here in Florida. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era. Remember the date, September 2nd. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code 1010XL. Spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings. Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable. Predictions dollars that expire in 1 year, ends August 23rd. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo, nationwide based on sportsbook predictions, and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
25 weeks comes down to this. You ready? 3 wide under the lights. Zero margin for error. Everything on the line. Flirting with 200 miles per hour in the place where this journey began. Race 26, the final hunt for a spot in the chase. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 weekend at Daytona, August 28th through 29th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
If you missed it, get it on demand.
And you send those out on the line.
Find your 1010XL favorites where you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com. Channel 5, Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Hey, it's Joe C. for Wingstop. Have you ever heard of a flavor rodeo? Now available at Wingstop. Carolina Gold, a bold blend of tangy mustard barbecue, apple cider vinegar, and savory spices for the right amount of southern sweet and tang. And Jamaican jerk, a rich barbecue sauce infused with chilies, thyme, cinnamon, garlic, nutmeg, and sweet molasses. Finished with a savory jerk season for an extra layer of flavor. Carolina Gold. and Jamaican jerk. Now that's a flavor rodeo for a limited time only at Wingstop.
Got a leaky faucet, a running toilet, a drain that's slowing down? If you've been meaning to call a plumber, now's the perfect time to call Duck Duck Rooter. Schedule any plumbing service during August, and while our technician is already at your home, we'll include a free water heater inspection. It's just one more way we deliver the Duck Duck standard. Honest recommendations, fair upfront pricing, and no surprises. If you're calling a plumber anyway, why not get a little bit more while we're there? When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, love hurts, words hurt. Remember my mom saying, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Then she'd go put on Nazareth. No one has ever said your words have injured me. and if you've dealt with someone like that, okay, an ex-wife, whatever, I mean, see the devil. Crying out loud. That is a totally new form of language, if in fact that was the case. But everybody hurts, right? I mean, everyone does, including football players. You dust it off. You shake it off. You rub dirt on it. You rub an aspirin on it. You take the big steel needle and load it up, and you get back out there. Injured is a totally different story. Injured means that your body has dealt with massive trauma and you're not coming back for quite some time. Where are the Jaguars right now? I would like to believe that caution is what they are looking at most. I hope. But again, out of the league and the way that the CBA is put together, they don't have to say anything at all right now that involves who is practicing and who is not practicing. And that applies to all 32 teams in pro football. All right, it's good to have you with us. Tonight's show brought to you by the good folks over at the Alexander Law Practice, where if you are injured, okay, make sure you get with Rick Alexander. He's made this his profession his entire adult life, and he works with you in every single way. Okay, he has a very small client list because he's involved with each and every one of you. Now, there's never a retainer fee, consultation fee. You're not going to be billed for anything. You're never going to come out of pocket. So again, if you've been injured in a car accident, you've been injured falling down the stairs, no matter what it may be, make sure you make an appointment today with the Alexander Law Practice and then fire away. Ask questions. Rick will get with you. They'll put something together that hopefully will, be what you were looking for going in. And any question is a good question when it comes to this. So if you are alone, remember, you're never coming out of pocket. Just go to the Alexander Law Practice. Okay. Also today, the return of Nick Mullins. All right. For those of you who are wondering, limited today was Jordan Lewis. So it appears he's on the come here. I absolutely would not work him tomorrow. I absolutely would not work him on Friday night. Quentin Morris limited. Jalen McLeod limited today. So some guys are getting healthy. And again, I mean, don't bat your eye at the Walker Little news. That's important. On a day in which, we heard last night that Macari had back surgery. Then today you find out that Washington is out for the week. Parker, who's had the best camp of anyone. Wyatt Milam is going to be out for the remainder of the week. And, your third down back and your best back in pass protection. And LaQuinn Allen Jr. is out. It was stated that it is, in fact, soft tissue, but he's out for the remainder of camp. So he's not going to work, here against Carolina. He's not going to work next week against Tampa Bay. I do appreciate how, and I really talked about this yesterday, how it feels like the lack of stubbornness with this franchise to make in practice daily changes, I think says an awful lot. Again, taking the pads off yesterday for the last 2 periods, it may not sound like a lot if you're a casual football fan. If you're a passionate Jaguars fan, you get it. And you just know how important that is. And we played the comments from Liam Cohen yesterday. I mean, he really wanted to keep those pads on. But he read the room, and he knew, no, they got to come off. And then today, again, I don't know if it was announced. I went with the original release where it was supposed to go to 10:50. They called it off at 10:30. So you took 20 minutes off of practice. And again, they're getting themselves ramped up for tomorrow and a big work day against the Carolina Panthers. You know, I do want to say this. Where I'm at right now, okay, I'm not letting Parker Washington return punts. He's too valuable for this football team. This has been a subject that I have tackled the entire offseason. Okay? And he's really, really good at it. He's dynamic. He's a touchdown maker. He, creates momentum. Whether it's a 3-and-out or regardless of what the defense just did, he's that good. But this guy in game gets nicked up. I went back and looked at his career. 9 games as a rookie, 16, then 17. So he's only really missed 1 game in the last 2 years. But he has spent time in the blue tent. He has been knocked out of games at times, been evaluated and either returned or did not return. He's been their best football player. And I get it. The return game is so very important. I'm not putting him back there. I'm just not doing it. I'm keeping him as a wide receiver. And I have a feeling first of all, I know he doesn't support that. All right, because I've asked Parker Washington about a lot of members of the Jaguars media have asked him that, and he's been consistent. Heath Farwell supports that. There's no way Heath Farwell is going to say, okay, yeah, let's put a freshman out there. Let's put a rookie, Josh Cameron, out there. Allow him to return some punts. What? I mean, a rookie? Game 1? Mm-mm. You hope he gets his feet wet. What you hope is that Jacksonville blows out Cleveland, and they're up by a couple of possessions, and you can say, all right, Parker, you're sitting this one out, and Cameron, get in there and return your first punt. There's a difference between doing it then than in the very first quarter, right? I mean, just say Jacksonville goes 3-and-out against Cleveland. Deshaun Watson's looking at the ladies in the stands. His mind isn't focused. He throws an incomplete pass. All of a sudden, punt team, punt! And you throw Cameron out there. It's like, oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's different if it's later in the game and Jacksonville has a lead. So, anyway, I know I'm not going to get a lot of support on this. Okay. But I think it's best for business. I think it's best for the team. I really do believe that. It's a question I'll ask Ryan O'Halloran if I do have the time. He's coming up here in 5 minutes, columnist from the Florida Times-Union. All right. We also want to welcome you to the show. 2 ways that you can join us. Text line 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also, tonight on YouTube, just go to 1010XL Into the Night. Ryan O'Halloran and a conversation is coming up on Into the Night.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, official dental partner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
If you're getting estimates for replacement windows, do yourself a favor. Get one more. Prosser here. I did, and I was blown away. Cash Building Materials' local team is so experienced, and they know exactly what works for Jacksonville homes at a surprising price. You owe it to yourself to see what they can do before making a decision. Before you buy windows or doors, get a cash quote. Search Cash Building Material. Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
The investment landscape always changing. New rules, new regulations, new opportunities. But at ITP Partners, one thing stays constant. our commitment to your financial future. ITP partners Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Janice Cobb, Dan Abel, Reagan Wright, and Reed Wingate. Your personalized investment strategy built on trust, transparency, and experience. They're ITP partners. They're my financial partners for life. Registered representatives offering securities offered through Cetera Wealth Services, LLC, member FINRA SIPC, and advisory services offered through Blue Horizon Equity, Inc.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, transponders, and even high-tech smart locks. For honest, professional locksmith service,
Instant Keys comes to you.
Hey, Hicken here. Celebrate the month of August with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $119 plus a free hallway for the remainder of the month. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of the savings. Tell them 1010XL sent you.
Zero Res.
Attention contractors. Stop wasting time dealing with permits yourself. Use PermitRockstar.com. Their permitting platform helps contractors cut permitting delays by up to 80%. Stop waiting and start building with PermitRockstar.com.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Prosser here, and if you're in the market for buying or selling your home, let me make it a lot easier for you. 2 names, Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. Need max price? Chad and Sandy's science-based Market Max system is a proven, repeatable system guaranteed to sell your home for maximum price. You want to talk guarantees? Using the Max Market system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. It's as simple as that. James and Sue in St. Augustine said, my wife and I wanted to move to Ocala for more space. We interviewed 3 other agents who didn't last 5 minutes. Chad and Sandy's team spent time answering all of our questions and made us feel important. Our home was sold in 1 week at the highest price in the neighborhood, while many neighbors failed to sell. That's the kind of proven results you get with Chad and Sandy. So call the local agents who guarantee to sell your home, who I know and trust. Reach out to Chad and Sandy, 414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
All right, let's bring in Ryan O'Halloran. You hear him every Friday, 4 to 6. We are not too far away from going 4 to 7. And I'm going to join both Ryan and Hayes Carline during football season. And as well, of course, he is the columnist with the Florida Times-Union. Joins me at 6:35 each and every Tuesday night. What do you say, Ryan?
Hey, Rick, good to join you. And I think the next time that we are on the air on Fridays will be the 3 of us because of the 2 preseason games coming up.
How about that? How about that? Should be a blast, no doubt about it. Really looking forward to that show. That is a couple of weeks away. All right, let's get right after it, Ryan. The overall concern right now with this football team health-wise?
It's, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably I'd say about a 6, because you're at when you lose a lot of guys at certain spots, it just removes your margin for error. It'd be one thing if they had a corner and an offensive lineman and a running back. But they got a lot of offensive linemen missing. They've had a lot of linebackers missing time. And then today's headliner being Parker Washington. And, they are stressing that it's nothing serious. But, any time is missed. I think any missed time is important. So I think every day that number goes up on the concern scale.
Yeah, and there's an old expression in baseball that hitting is contagious. I almost feel that way about injuries in football, that once one guy goes down, all of a sudden it could be a domino effect. I obviously don't want that to be the case here in town. But I'd like to know the separation of being overcautious, and if there was a game Sunday, this player could go, compared to, oh no, these players are out for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and just how they are terming some of the timetables, it would be for this Sunday. I think Parker Washington would give it a go, but when they rule the Quinn Allen out for the rest of the camp, I mean, he probably missed a couple games. He would have missed a couple regular season games. So Makari, you wouldn't expect him to play at all for the next couple of Sundays under a regular season format. So, yeah, nobody's being placed on IR, but with soft tissue stuff, if that's what it is for some guys, you come back too soon and you tweak it, then you go back to square one and you miss another couple of weeks. So that's where the cautiousness comes up. But I was surprised yesterday that Liam Cohen was trending toward playing the starters. Maybe that's a sign he's not happy with some of the execution and the crispness or the joint practice against New Orleans, because I think it is a roll of the dice with the injuries mounting.
Well, how fluid is that? I mean, if they really get after it tomorrow, offensively and defensively, I think he could shut them down Friday. But, I don't expect that because I think Carolina's going to be getting after it as well. So I think it's a mixed bag tomorrow. That'd be my prediction. And the end result is starters are going to play on Friday.
Yeah, let's start at one end of the spectrum. Let's say the Jaguars are lights out tomorrow. I still think he'll have them make a cameo, but just shorten it to maybe a possession. If it's a spirited joint practice, which is what I expect, because Carolina got called out by their GM after the game in Buffalo on Saturday, so they're going to be looking to rebound. Then I'd say if I'm Liam Cohen, if everybody makes it through healthy, you do look at 12 to 15 plays. Or if Trevor Lawrence comes out in the first drive, goes 11 plays and a touchdown, that's when you put a seal on it until week one.
Ryan O'Halloran, our guest columnist for the Florida Times-Union. Tomorrow morning, the Jaguars and Carolina Panthers have a full padded practice. That'll be at the Miller Electric Center. Of course, game time coming up on Friday night. All right, now we've seen consecutive days worth of Travis Hunter exclusively, on the defense, not exclusively, but for the most part, on 11-on-11, defense and defense, very little on offense. Yesterday, some 7-on-7. What do you make about the ramp up there on that side of the ball?
Yeah, it tells me they're getting in the regular season mode. And as we've talked about for several months, his usage is based on where the team needs him. And right now, we've always said, this confirms it, that corner is his number one spot right now. And I think the first couple of weeks of camp, get his proverbial feet wet on offense, making sure he's, up to the task in terms of the assignments and stuff like that. But also today, he took a couple 11-on-11 handoffs, jet sweep, and also sort of a toss from Nick Mullins. But I think right now, once you get through this week, you sort of have that mock game week where I'm sure he'll practice on defense almost exclusively, and then you start getting ready for Cleveland.
Let's get to the offensive line because right now that is the biggest concern, no doubt about it. All right, let's get to Emmanuel Pregnon. Great effort the other night, moved some bodies in both pass protect and run blocking. It looks like right now he is their starting left guard.
Yeah, and he's like the next Jackie Slater, according to some people, after 32 snaps or something like that. I mean, a positive step for Pregnon, who I didn't even expect to play because he had been injured. But I think that what you saw today of left to right of Harrison, Pregnon, Hainsey, Cleveland, Little, I think that is week one if Cole Van Landen isn't available to play right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
If he is, you move Walker Little left guard. I think Pregnon's got it in his mitts right now. Hey, this is your chance, which means you have flipped Cleveland over to the right side. So, if they can do it again, if another sign would be if they line it up that way tomorrow against other competition, that means that's probably the route they'll go in the game, and then you really start gaining some clarity that these are the five guys that is Plan A, not including Van Landen.
It's been a real up and down camp, mostly down for Wyatt Milam. And, once again, he's on the shelf. Really a missed opportunity for the second-year offensive lineman.
Yeah, that's 100%. He started off the first 5-6 days of camp as the right guard in place of McCary. That first day in pads, it wasn't good enough. And the next day they put Pregnon in there, but then Emmanuel got hurt. But then Walker Little got hurt, so Milam got another shot to play with the ones at right tackle. Didn't capitalize. Now he's banged up. So, if you had the list like sort of the stock up, stock down, he would definitely be the first one I would put for stock down.
Let's talk about Van Lanen because that's the great secret. We watch him daily run and go through some rehabilitation, and the eye test says, okay, yeah, he looks good, but we don't know about his burst. We don't know if he can plant. We don't know what it's going to be like when he's taking on massive defensive linemen. What do you believe's going on there?
Well, they are being really cautious for starters, but you're right, Rick, and I think it's important to point out is we're seeing him every day. I mean, today he was running 50-yard sprints the width of the field. He's going to be the best conditioned right tackle out there based on that, but he worked in a helmet yesterday, but no pads, obviously. You know, one thing Liam Cohen told me July 27th was he didn't think he would have a solid answer on Cole Van Lanen until cutdown day. Well, that's 12 days away, and that's when you got to make a decision. 53-man roster or PUP and out the first 4 weeks.
Oh.
Now, obviously, they don't want to do the PUP, so my guess is they put them on the 53. But you also can't carry two of those guys if McCary's not ready to go.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's getting late early, so to speak, but also you pretty much have made your bet in terms of Cole Van Lanen's going to get no game action before week one.
Yeah,
that's another kind of risk.
Yeah, I mean, some things have changed, really since the practice and game in New Orleans and then early this week. Like, I see every projection. It says only 3 running backs. Well, with Allen Jr. now shelved, do they keep the veteran Abdullah who didn't dress? Do they go with Taylor or maybe just try to bury him on the practice squad after the workload that he got? And, I also wonder as well, what are they going to do at linebacker? Are they going to go get another veteran who's waived in a week and a half? I mean, what do you believe is going to happen there?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're entering constant churn of the roster. I mean, they've already added 8 new guys since camp started 2.5 weeks ago. So let's start at running back. I asked around about Abdullah sitting out. He was prepared to play in case of emergency, but he got a lot of reps in that joint practice. Okay, but also now with Allen down, does he become a kick return option or a third down option? I think Jamari Taylor would clear waivers even with a great next 2 games and go to the practice squad. I think you can develop him there. Linebacker's interesting because to me, I'd be running out of patience with Kaiser because he doesn't appear close to coming back the way he's walking around with that big brace on his right knee. And okay, Miller, Combs, Aluakun, Tave, Gardeck. That's probably your guys. So, what they're running into, and we talked about this at the beginning of the segment, Rick, is how about some of these guys injury-wise aren't totally ready to go by week one? Then you're really trying to thread a needle with your depth.
Yeah, and Abdullah makes a big play. I mean, it's the best play I've ever seen him make. He's a good special teams player, but I think you had in the paper he had 15 special team snaps. But, I mean, he makes the best play maybe of his career, and he's clearly on the roster bubble.
He is, and so now the linebacker Abdullah we're talking about as well.
Sure, my bad.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't have him on the roster at the beginning of camp just because of the numbers there, but also I had Kaiser on there, and I'm sure a lot of people had Parker Hughes on there. Well, Hughes is out of the mix, so and really is one thing that Liam Cohen mentioned yesterday when I asked him what was out of whack on the first kickoff against New Orleans, and he pointed it out that Husky got sort of out of position. But he goes, there's no question we have to be better covering kicks this year.
Yeah.
Well, to me, that means a guy like Abdullah does have a puncher's chance of making the team.
Yeah. And not only does he make the 53, he's there on game day, obviously, because he's a 4-core special teamer. All right. Leave us with this. I've been saying this for quite some time, and every time I do, I get the majority really criticizes my opinion, but he's out again this week. I'm not letting Parker Washington return punts.
I'm with you, and I've been with you from the start on that. And I was talking to somebody yesterday at practice about that, and it's the only thing I would do is let's say you need a little bit of a spark. Maybe the offense isn't cooking, and the team, you're sort of out of it, and you need a little bit of an energy burst. I'd say, hey, Parker, go back there, see if you can make something happen. That would be under the only circumstance I would do it because he's too valuable on offense. And if I'm him, if I don't have a contract, do I really want to see that go away if I'm getting cut down on a punt return?
Yeah.
So to me, he would be somebody that I would have catch punts in practice just to stay familiar with it. But let's say in like week 3 or whatever, you're sort of trailing, you need a little bit of a spark, then I'd throw him back there, but only under those circumstances.
That's a good point. I didn't really think about it that way, but it makes sense. He is Ryan O'Halloran, columnist with the Florida Times-Union. Make sure you get his daily updates. And, of course, he's with us each and every Friday. It won't be this Friday or next Friday because of Jaguars football. And then I'm going to join Ryan and Hayes Carline. We're going to take it for an extra hour until 7 once football gets underway. So that is right around the corner. Ryan, I'll see you in the morning. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Rick.
There he goes. Ryan O'Halloran. So there's 2 of us. Just the 2 of us. He's an Irishman who doesn't drink. I'm an Irishman who will drink for him and for yours truly. So there you go. You were at the Blue Crab House with your parents the other night. Did you have a good time?
Had a fantastic time.
You don't go Bloody Marys. You need something a little bit bolder, so I won't ask you the obligatory Bloody Mary question because I think the folks at the Blue Crab House do have the best Bloody Mary in Duval.
I recommended it to my guests, but they got a grapefruit martini that they said was absolutely amazing. So
Okay. Tonight, tonight's divorcee night. $2 freaking margaritas at the Blue Crab House. $2. Are you kidding? Tomorrow night? Ballou, you're telling me tomorrow night they have $1 oysters at the Blue Crab House? That's what I'm telling you. I'm Rick Ballou. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration for sports fans. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states, including right here in Florida. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era. Remember the date, September 2nd. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code 1010XL, spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable. Predictions dollars that expire in 1 year ends August 23rd. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo, nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability varies by state.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Ball's loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow. This is Gators head football coach John Summerall. Join Sean Kelly and our broadcast crew as they bring you Gators football all season long.
On Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football, 1010 XL.
Looking for something different this weekend? Experience the 23rd Annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention. Meet hundreds of talented tattoo artists, discover one-of-a-kind vendors and artisans, and explore the collector's alley packed with Pokemon, trading cards, sports memorabilia, comics, toys, collectibles. Bring the whole family, enjoy free parking, and take in a beautiful venue. Renaissance Resort at World Golf Village. Tickets are available at the door. For event details, schedules, and everything you need to know, visit setattoo.com.
Prosser here. You want to know 3 words you can live by? Job well done. Want to know 3 more? Custom tree surgeons. Those 2 go hand in hand. When summer storms come crashing through or hurricane winds start to blow, Custom Tree Surgeons is always on standby, doing it better than everyone else. No job too big or too small, and always job well done. With Custom Tree Surgeons, call Custom Tree Surgeons or visit them at customtreesurgeons.com.
Go! After the stadium lights go dark, the football conversation gets started.
With hacker Trent Osborne.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights.
Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Whether you're wearing teal and black or orange and blue, there's one thing we can all agree on this football season. Jets Pizza. Fresh dough made daily. Wall-to-wall cheese and crispy edges make every bite a game day favorite. Whether it's football Saturday or football Sunday, feed the family, the crew, or the whole team with Jets Pizza. Order online or call any of the 4 Jacksonville area Jets Pizza locations today.
What is the only NFL team that has never had a game end in a tie? The answer next.
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The only NFL team that has never had a tie game. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, good stuff. Thank you to Ryan O'Halloran. Fired up for tomorrow morning. I mean, I can wait. I can. And we got REM on right now, right? What was that? Told you this about a month ago. They rank like the 3 or 4 best Southern rock groups of all time. And it was Lynyrd Skynyrd, the Allman Brothers, and then REM. I was like, wait a minute, just because they're out of, Athens, they're not Southern rock. We found ZZ Top.
Yeah, ZZ Top.
Got to put them in there. Even though, Creedence has the swamp rock, but they are from Northern California. And, there's a lot of great Southern rock bands, but I'm talking about legendary Southern rock band. 38 Special's pretty good.
Yeah, 38 Special's a good one, but the one that I remember, did a texter keep saying Molly Hatchet?
Molly Hatchet, yeah. Flirting with Disaster LP. Used to love those old albums with the, whoever painted that was just some of the best album covers of all time. You got like the Outlaws and stuff like that. But I actually think Neil Young, even though he's from Canada, and of course he upset Lynyrd Skynyrd, and they responded and said, a Southern man doesn't need Neil Young around and all that. I know it's folk-like music, but it's got a little bit of a Southern kick to it. But REM, I do not understand that at all. Hey, a lot of injuries, a lot of conversations that are going on right now for you at the workplace and just in general. This is a constant watch now on where this football team is and where they are going to go. I think it's a better roster. Let me give you an example. You know who's had a really, really good camp, and you haven't heard a lot about him at all? Austin Trammell. He just makes plays. And if you look at what happened today in the slot with Parker out, you would assume that the 5 wide receivers, right? And because the 6th guy is Travis Hunter, and I know that in a normal situation, a one-possession football game, if you're trailing, Travis Hunter's not going to be your sixth wide receiver. He's going to be your third or fourth wide receiver. The two rookies will be 5 and 6. But under the guidance of the roster, Hunter is listed as a corner, and he has worked for the most part in 11-on-11 on defense. Yesterday, the entire day on defense. Most of it today, you heard O'Halloran talk about him working with Mullins in the second string, couple of counters today, couple of runs. But Austin Trammell all of a sudden is working with the slot. Now, I think he's a practice squad guy, but he's someone who has a tremendous amount of experience. It's too bad he fumbled that punt return. And I'm sure that to this day that just drives him crazy. But yeah, he's one of those guys that just keeps on hanging on. And Pena has had a good camp. He dropped that bullet, that great pass from Bradley on Saturday, evening. What are you saying, Ballou? It's Saturday night, for crying out. Saturday evening. What are you, all of a sudden, a yuppie? What, did you not have beers during the game? What, did you have something with an umbrella in it? Evening. We don't like the evening, except for Paul Simon late in the evening when he goes outside to smoke himself a J, right? We love that. Besides that, it's always night, Saturday night. He made that grab. Oh, my God. He's caught pass after pass after pass after pass. And I tell you what, who had the best grab today? And these guys aren't going to be, they're not going to make the team, but they could make the practice squad. The best grab today was Michael Wortham, who's about 5'7", out of Montana. A diving reception today that was absolutely spectacular. But Austin Trammell's the guy I really wanted to talk about. I mean, there's a guy, and with these new rules that I guess are still in play this year, I'm going to have to go back and look at it once again. You can bring up practice squad guys and how that affects your roster. I wouldn't dismiss Austin Trammell being a part of things again for this football team this year. All right, coming up, let's begin the 7 o'clock hour. Let's hear from Jabar Muhammad. Let's also hear from you. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also, you can watch us and comment tonight on YouTube. Go to 1010XL into the night.
What is this?
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
We have hope. Rebellions are built on hope.
With the power to save the planet. Or at least sports radio in Jacksonville.
They are requesting a call sign. It's
1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. The deals at Nimnik Buick GMC have never been better. This month, save up to $16,000 off a new GMC Sierra truck, the kind I drive, and I love it. Or save more than $6,000 on a new Buick SUV. Plus, 0% financing for 60 months is now available. With the largest selection of new Buicks and GMCs in the region, why would you go anywhere else? Shop online at NimnikBuickGMC.com or head to the showroom off Phillips Highway. Great prices, great interest rates. Who takes care of you? Really takes care of you? Nobody but Nimnik GMC. We are professional grade.
The birth of a child is a time of joy, but when complications during delivery lead to injury or death, families are left with lifelong problems. If you believe a medical mistake contributed to a birth injury, protect yourself and your family by understanding your legal options. Founded in Jacksonville, Edwards & Raggets helps families evaluate medical negligence claims. No fees unless you recover damages. Call 904-INJURED or visit 904injured.com.
Edwards & Raggets, offices Jacksonville.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, JohnAutomotiveJacks.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Yo, what's happening, football fans? It's your main man, E to the T. And it's almost time to draft your team and kick off another season. This year, take your fantasy football draft party to Twin Peaks, where cold drinks, made from scratch food, and wall-to-wall TVs make your lodge the ultimate draft day headquarters. Round up your league, grab a table, and get ready for some picks, the rivalries, and the full season bragging rights. Whether you're defending a title or drafting for the first time, start your fantasy season at Twin Peaks. Book your fantasy football draft party at your local lodge today.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, I've got a simple question. How much does a 1-carat diamond cost?
Frank, that's an impossible question to answer because a carat is only a measure of weight for gemstones. It'd be no different than me saying, I have a beautiful wife. She weighs 125 pounds, which you'd find is a ridiculous description. Diamonds are graded for 4 factors, and carat weight is only one of those factors. The others are cut, color, and clarity, and each of these factors is graded specifically and set by a certified gemologist in an accredited gem laboratory. So when you ask about a diamond's weight, we're going to tell you more than just the price. At Underwoods, we want a customer to understand how all 4 factors of diamond quality relate back to the rarity and value of the diamond. Needless to say, we all understand the value of a dollar. At Underwoods, we want our customers to know what their dollar buys in diamond value. So if you're shopping for the best, stop by Underwoods.
That's at Underwoods in San Marco, in Avondale, or at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
It's time to get your kid in the game with I-9 Sports. From North Jacksonville to Fleming Island, Neptune Beach to Orange Park, I-9 Sports makes it convenient for you just 1 day per week. Fall and winter registration open right now at I-9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
If you've been dealing with backups, strange smells, or soggy spots in the yard, your septic system is trying to tell you something. This month, save $500 on a new septic system installation from Rooter. As the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, we'll handle everything, from the required permits and inspections to the complete installation. Stop hoping. Start fresh. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com. Financing is available.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Southern bands absolutely would include ZZ Top. Really disappointed to hear about the passing of Frank Beard yesterday. Longtime drummer of ZZ Top. I had just read recently, Billy Gibbons announced that someone was replacing Frank Beard. It said he needed some time away. Of course, they lost Dusty Hill, their bassist, a few years ago. What an outstanding live act. Party band with a ton of hits. Seen them at the Florida Theater, seen them at the St. Aug Amp. Among other places. Always a lot of fun. One of the great 3-man bands of all time. But all of a sudden, now they're down 2. 77, Frank Beard. And it's kind of ironic because the other 2 had the massive beards. Billy Gibbons still lead singer. I mean, he's one of the great, not only is ZZ Top one of the great 3-man bands of all time, and I don't think Billy Gibbons will ever be over-received as far as a great lead singer. He's got his own style. But there aren't a lot of combination lead singers, lead guitarists. And think about that. Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix. I happen to think David Gilmour's the best. Neil Young. Just my opinion on that. You think anyone else? So you probably go out. No, Alice Cooper's not on guitar. Who's the best combo lead singer, lead guitarist?
I mean, off the top of my head, it's the lead guitarist is the part you're throwing me with. Because there's like a lot of guys like I'm sitting there going Paul McCartney, but he's not on.
He's bass.
Yeah.
And Sting is bass. Geddy Lee's bass.
Phil Collins is on the drums.
Phil Collins does it all. Kind of like Kid Rock. I went to a Kid Rock. Kid Rock opened up for like Lynyrd Skynyrd. It's like all of a sudden it's like time for the piano and Kid Rock does a piano solo. Then like later in the riff, it's like a drum solo. He all of a sudden kicks the drummer out and he's in the drum kit. And if you look at it, they have like their own style. Like Jimi Hendrix had his own style, and Eric Clapton, you know, I mean, but yeah, Billy Gibbons would be on that list. So kind of a sad situation that has happened here. Speaking of sad, this just drives me crazy. You know how I feel about international play in the NFL. I can't stand it. And as far as I'm concerned, there's 33 people, and that's not even the case because of the way that the Green Bay Packers are operated. I'm going to say there's 31 people. Let's make it 32. The 31 team owners and Roger Goodell are the only people on not this planet, but in the United States of America who want to play internationally. Everyone else does not. They just won't publicly say it. Well, Goodell goes on today. You ready for this? Spoke to a reporter in Germany. And he said that there is going to be NFL expansion, which is going to include NFL teams outside of the USA. Quote, I have no doubt that this will happen one day. He also goes on to say that expansion will be inevitable. Roger Goodell is a lawyer. Roger Goodell makes like $64 million a year. Let's go to Webster. Let's go to him right now. Let's look up the term inevitable. An event or outcome is certain to happen and cannot be avoided or prevented. That is the definition of inevitable. Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, said that expansion in other countries, inevitable. How absurd is that? It's greed. And greed is fine. Capitalism is fine. I have no problem with making a buck. I have no problem with working harder than someone else and making money. But there comes a point where you fracture the game. First hour of the program, what did we talk about? The difference between being injured and hurt. Do you have any idea what it's like to travel internationally to play a game? I know what it's like to travel internationally. I went to London several times on the team plane, the charter. And they dress all this up and they try to make it as convenient as they possibly can for the players. It's still a massive grind. And if you got a guy who's hurt and you got to take him and all of a sudden make that change, just the line the owner's pockets that much more, makes absolutely zero sense to me. He went on to say, oh, by the way, you're going to have a Super Bowl. A Super Bowl in another country. This is what I don't understand outside of the dollar signs. Why not love your people? Why not support your people? Right? You want to do things differently? If you're the Green Bay Packers, play a game in Milwaukee. Right? If you're the New England Patriots, play a game in Connecticut. If you're the Jaguars, now that's different because there's 3 teams in this state and they're already going to deal with Orlando next year. Maybe leave Jacksonville alone. Maybe bring pro football to some great college football cathedrals. Right? I mean, why not? I was talking with Taylor Dahl today. She was telling me that I think it's someone's playing, I think it's Notre Dame and Wisconsin that are playing at Lambeau this year. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Right? Why not the other way? Why not take a purse out of the owner's pocket and say, yo, Atlanta Falcons, guess what? you're playing a game in Athens. Tennessee, get out of Nashville. You're playing a game in Knoxville. Why not do that? Why not give a different fan base that still applies to your pro team? Maybe you have an opportunity to create more fans who will say, all right, let's make the trip from Athens to Atlanta. Let's make the trip from Knoxville to Nashville. Let's make the trip from Connecticut as opposed to playing in freaking Germany and having a team based in Germany or having a team based in Mexico City. And I guess there was a lot of still the uninformed. I guess the Golics, who are back together today, went off and said, well, that's the Jaguars. They'll be the next. I mean, just hop on the Google. Seriously. Just hop on the Google. If you're going to make a comment, and you know, Mike Golic is supposed to be one of the really better national hosts of the last 2 to 3 decades. You know, his success on the morning show, Mike and Mike. I don't know who the kid is. Obviously, he got the gig because of his dad. That's nepotism at its worst. And obviously, he's not working hard because it would be very, very, very easy to look it up and say, oh, the Jaguars are going through construction right now. They're going to have a brand new building in 2020. Look at this. They just signed a long-term lease with the city. You wouldn't make such a foolish comment. So again, Jacksonville today, because of Roger Goodell, who uses the word inevitable, and national mouthpieces who don't know anything about Jacksonville, have made this perhaps inconvenient for you. Or maybe you just don't care. Interesting stuff. We're going to save Jabar Muhammad until our next break. I didn't plan on going in that particular direction. 0976 ZZ Top and 81, 86, and 94. All at the Jacksonville Coliseum. First two were particularly memorable, the party activities I participated in pre-concert. I remember those days. I remember those days when I get so messed up before a concert, I don't remember the concert. You mentioned Phil Collins. I mentioned Eric Clapton. The second concert I ever saw was at the Worcester Centrum. And it was Eric Clapton who had Phil Collins on drums for that show. I also saw Genesis that year. I think it was that year. It might have been a year after. Before Phil went out on his own. But like the first concert I ever saw was the Flock of Seagulls. It was the Fix, the Flock of Seagulls, and the Police at, I think it was Sullivan Stadium then. It was before Bob Kraft bought them. The Police, their synchronicity tour. I don't remember anything about that show. And, you know, you look back on it now and it's like, isn't that kind of stupid? And, you know, I wonder about sports fans too. Is you guys are so passionate. You girls are so passionate about this team. What do you make of the guy that drinks 17, has 17 pops, right? He has 17 Pabst Blue Ribbons and has no idea if it's 3rd and 1 or if it's, 1st and 10 because he's so messed up at a game. And I know that's, for the most part, that's younger, right? I probably did that at Florida State, certainly for night games. But there comes a point, I would think as a true fan, whether you're going to a game or you're going to you want to enjoy it, see it, remember it, right? Now, after the game is a totally different deal. You win a big game, I mean, get after it as long as you're not driving. But in game, that's weird. And let's take a break. I've said this before. I still have cocktails at Florida State games. I never go as a member of the media, but I think the last time I got in that situation, if it was an important game, was at the Rose Bowl when it was Florida State and Auburn playing for the national title. And the Rose Bowl is archaic. They haven't kept up with it. And the bathrooms are non-existent. And there's no sound. There's no TV. There's no radio. You don't know anything. I hear the crowd cheering. It's like, I got to pee so bad. I mean, so bad. And the crowd's going nuts. And you're like, is this a touchdown? Was it a pick? Who's cheering there? Is it Auburn? Is it for? And I just said, that's it. I'm not drinking. I'm not having anything else because I'm not going to get in those bathroom lines. I missed half of a quarter. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get to Jabar Muhammad. He's next.
Painting the town teal and black. The Bold City's radio home of the Jaguars. 1010XL.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione. Campione Law.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Get closer to the swamp without leaving Duval.
I'm Kyle Markowitz. Get your chomp of swamp news several times a week on 1010XL.
Built by Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
Want to stretch that dollar? Taylor Doll here to help save you money with the Money Pages magazine and app. Trying to figure out dinner? Money Pages has deals at your favorite local restaurants. Need auto repairs or an oil change? Money Pages has coupons to help you save. Looking to do some home improvement projects? Money Pages has deals on everything home, from AC repair and plumbing to flooring and painting. Check your mailbox for Money Pages today and download the app for savings on the go.
Birthdays, anniversaries, and graduations happen year-round. That's why it's good to have Kuhn Flowers on hand to send that floor arrangement with a simple click, call, or showroom visit. This is JJ. Make Kuhn Flowers your go-to when you need to send your love.
When it comes to orthopedic care, experience matters, and teamwork matters even more. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, our fellowship-trained specialists work together to treat a full range of conditions, from knees and shoulders to spine, sports injuries, and joint replacement. You'll be guided by the right specialist for your needs, with coordinated care and personalized treatment plans designed for better outcomes. Smarter care, faster access, trusted expertise. Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non one impact window while you're at work. Window World has high quality, very affordable hurricane rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Growing up in Boston, we were linked to the WWF. Today it's the WWE. And then all of a sudden, like, cable arrives and we start seeing a mixture of some other wrestling. Back then it was, totally regional. And I remember seeing the Von Erichs come out to this, taking on, what was the heck? Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy and I forget their name. But they were the heels, so I was rooting for the heels over the face. And the Von Erichs have had it. The movie was pretty good, but the documentaries are much better. And anyway, it was the first time seeing, wrestling in other parts of the country. I'll never forget that match. It was, I think, deep in the heart of Texas. That actually did take place. Someone let me know the name of that tag team. With was it Buddy Roberts with Terry Gordy and Michael Hayes, the Fabulous Freebirds. There we go. Look at them. Look at the text line. We got 77 people telling us about the Fabulous Freebirds. I miss Freebird out at the beach. I miss that place. I really do. I mean, we talk about great concerts and great places to see them, but the Freebird would be great, for cover bands. And I don't think you're not allowed to call them cover bands anymore. You'll get canceled. You have to call them tribute bands.
Really?
I remember, like, U2 came in. I was buddies with those guys, and they were awesome. And I saw, like, the Eagle. Anyway, cover bands, tribute bands. Freebird was great. For that. All right, let's get to, this guy's had a really good camp. There's no question. He's had a really good offseason. That, of course, is Jabar Muhammad. I caught up with him right after practice on this Tuesday morning. All right, day 15, Tuesday at the Miller Electric Center here with Jabar Muhammad. Man, it got hot out here today.
Man, it did get hot. It's crazy. You said day 15. I don't even know what today is. Yeah. That's what's crazy. That's camp life for you, though. But it's going good. Like you said, it's hot. Got to stay hydrated and things like that. But another day to come out here and compete against some of the best guys in the league. So just having fun to go out here and compete with my teammates.
Kind of like a mirage out here. Everything runs together.
Yeah, everything does run together. You got this and meetings, recovery, this, meetings, recovery. It's just definitely a consistent thing on a day-to-day basis. So the fact that you said day 15, that's kind of wild.
Yeah. Today, Spiders, after the great work in New Orleans in the game on Saturday, what are the expectations like for tomorrow, your second opportunity now to go live, this time against Carolina?
The expectations are to go ahead and do what we play our brand of football. Coach Matt was just talking about it. We got to come out here and start fast. And, man, when we're at our best, we're communicating, we're having fun, we bring that energy. At the end of the day, we feel like we're the best. So just doing that, just being us and keeping it simple.
What's it been like for you? I mean, a year ago, not a lot of talk, and obviously you were able to be a part of the team on the practice squad. This year, much more involved with everything that's going on. What's this whole transition been like?
I mean, it's great, but I like to say it's kind of all just a part of my plan. Just stay down. Whatever journey that I have to do, I'm going to do it no matter what cards I'm dealt. Last year was practice squad, so just honing in on that, learning as much as I could, knowing that one day I would get my opportunity to show what I really could do, and just having that confidence in my ability. So it's cool to have that full transition and to show that, that I belong.
One of the most important factors, I thought, was being able to keep, for the most part,
all the coaches intact. Anthony Campanelli, had an opportunity to go as a head coach or was interviewed, but he returns. What does that mean?
It means a lot. Obviously, you don't have to pick up and learn a new system. They brought in Coach Matt, man, who's a hell of a coach. Guy that is the same guy every single day, lets you be you, but at the same time, man, just hones in on the details, and you kind of need that, especially at our position, coaching corners and nickels and things like that. I've learned so much from him, from the veteran guys in our room as well.
Matthew Arujo, as you mentioned, comes here. You've mentioned him twice already. How important is he, and what separates him from other coaches?
He's very important. I would say one thing about him is he just lets you be you. He kind of finds what system or what technique that you play with best. He kind of molds it around around the defense and things like that. So that's pretty different. A lot of coaches kind of say like, "Hey, this is what I'm used to. This is what I'm going to do." He lets you be you. He lets you play you, and he's going to critique you based upon that. So that's pretty cool.
How does this team get better when you have 31 takeaways a year ago, 22 interceptions? You led the NFL in fourth quarter interceptions. Obviously, that's a huge component to being successful, but just your thoughts on being able to duplicate that this season.
I mean, that's a great statistic, but that's last year. We have, obviously some new guys stepping in new places and things like that, but we're focused on just taking it a step at a time every single day and getting better. Like I said, that's last year. We're going to hone in on this year and try to make some more milestones.
As we wrap things up, what's it like every day going against this wide receiver core?
It's great. Like I said, you got to buckle up and come with your iron sharpened because they're going to bring it every single day, whether it's one deep, two deep. They got some weapons over there. So it's great. Obviously, like I just said, iron sharpens iron. And, over there, man, it's so many different type of styles over there. You got speed, you got length, you got some strong guys, you got shifty guys, you got guys who are, savvy. So it's definitely a different type of guys over there that can do pretty much everything. So it's pretty cool to go against those guys.
And finally, Jabbar, you guys now going through a little bit of adversity, a ton of injuries on this football team, and you're still 2.5 weeks away from the start of the year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Coach Liam just mentioned it, little bug going around, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're trying to take care of our body, stay healthy, but, sometimes that's what comes with it. We're in the dog days, and at the end of the day, man, we just got to stay healthy. But we're trying to keep each other up while practicing physical and honing in on our details. But at the end of the day, man, it's football, and sometimes that's going to happen. But we're trying to push through for sure.
I'm in a mirage as well. I guess it's about a month until the start of the regular season. But, hey, I enjoyed the conversation. Continued success, and have a great camp.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Very likable guy, and you can really say really say that about all these young men. I mean, I know that culture is important to them, character is important to them. They want to find guys who love the game of football. Again, I thought that was totally overrated. I may end up being very wrong when it's all said and done. Wrong in year one, no doubt, and I enjoyed the conversation. He's listed at 5'10". If Jabar Muhammad is 5'10", then I'm 6 foot. And I thought they did this in high school, maybe in college, but he is not 5'10". He still plays, though, with the heart of a lion. He got picked on a little bit early in the game Saturday afternoon, but certainly did bounce back. Hey, he had a big-time interception today from Trevor, and had at least one pass breakup, may have had another one. He's had a good camp. He's sticky. He's just not your classic big corner. And there's been many successful smaller corners. But I think he makes the team. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when this thing is all set. And again, right now it's really, really hard to try to project a 53 because you just don't know who's going to be able to give it a go and who is not. 55-37, Rick. I'm heading down from West Virginia next week. Watch the final preseason game. Plan to try the Blue Crab Crab House based on your rave reviews. In fact, I'm staying in the area. What do you recommend? If you like salad, go with the Blue Crab Chef Salad. Okay? They put a ton of crab meat in there. If you don't want to deal with ripping apart the crabs. That is sensational. I go snow crabs. And they got them from all sorts of waters. Okay? Canadian waters, certainly southern Georgia waters, no matter what it may be. I mean, different crabs, and blue crabs are great. For me, it's a little hard navigating your way through it. So I go with the snow crabs and the long legs. and never disappointed. But it's just a fantastic menu. It really is. So enjoy yourself. And they're open tonight for another 90 minutes till 9 o'clock. Again, $2 margaritas on this Tuesday. Tomorrow night, $1 steamed oysters. That is a deal each and every Wednesday. I am Rick Ballou. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration for sports fans. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states, including right here in Florida. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era. Remember the date, September 2nd. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code 1010XL. Spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. The code's 1010XL. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable. Predictions dollars that expire in 1 year ends August 23rd. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability varies by state.
The station that's always longest off the tee is 1010XL.
You got a beautiful bachelor. Dad, oh, he got all of that one.
Jacksonville's Sports Radio.
This is Patrick Malarkey. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist did a PRP treatment on my knee, which was absolutely painless, and now I feel fantastic.
David Garrard here, and PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is still working well for me. When I needed professional orthopedic care, I chose Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. My knees thank me every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty, crusty, and unusable? Next time, secure the lid tightly to ensure no leaks and store the can upside down. Oxygen can't get to it, therefore no rust and no crust. If you'd like more tips or have a question about a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Your Sporting Jacks women are back this Saturday at 7 at Hodges Stadium against the Tampa Bay Sun. It's always thirsty on the pitch, featuring $1 beer and $1 hot dogs. Meet the newest member of the Sporting Jacks family before the game Saturday at Hodges Stadium.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web. Precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Hey, Tony here from Tony D's New York Pizza. No time for lunch? I get it. Walk in, check out our lunch specials, and you're back out in minutes. Fast, hot, fresh, and ready to go. Tony D's New York Pizza. Quick, easy, and always fresh. Bay Meadows and $2.95.
Back to school means a fresh start, and there's no better place to start than with beautiful new floors.
At Lifetime Flooring, save big on beautiful tile, hardwood, LVP, and carpet. Stop in and save with our exclusive showroom specials on the floors you've always dreamed of.
Transform your home with beautiful new flooring that's built for holiday gatherings, busy families, and everyday life.
Don't wait. Save today. Visit LifetimeFlooringJacks.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. Lifetime Flooring, bringing affordable luxury home.
Lifetime Flooring.
You know, it's funny. Most of us don't think about our water heater until it's too late. So here's a little bonus from our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. During August, when you schedule any plumbing service, they'll include a free water heater inspection while they're already at your home. No pressure, no gimmicks. Just honest advice from a company that's built its reputation on doing things the right way. That's the Duck Duck Standard. When you're stuck, call Duck Duck Rooter, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Today was Spiders. It was a good work day, primarily the run. A lot of teamwork today, a lot of 11 on 11. The big news, Patrick McCarty was announced last night after I got off air, back surgery. So he's on the shelf. We don't know for how long. You know, he was in sweats today, had a helmet. So it's not like he's laid up in a hospital somewhere. You know, he's moving around, but I would imagine he's a ways away, and they're going to have to make up their mind if they IR him to return, if they put him on the PUP. What are they going to do? If they put him on the PUP once rosters are set, he would miss a minimum of 4 games. Your starting offensive line today, Anton Harrison, left tackle, Emmanuel Pregnon for the second consecutive day. Your starting left guard. Ezra Cleveland was your starting right guard. Okay, he's worked there a little bit. He worked at right tackle yesterday. Hainsey in the middle, and the return of Walker Little at right tackle today. So with all the guys that are getting nicked up and leaving, the big news was the return of Walker Little. Also, Jonah Monheim getting some work in at right guard. Okay, as well, it was announced today, Quinn Allen Jr. out for the remainder of training camp with a soft tissue situation. Okay, Parker Washington, Wyatt Milam out for this week. Both expected to return next week. So that's basically it. Eric Armstead got another Veterans Day. By my count, that's 4 Veterans Day off during 15 practices, and I'm fine with that. I mean, I am. I think you need to understand what works. And Eric Armstead had 5.5 sacks in the first half of the season. He played well. He was never the same after the injury. At 31, again, you got to read the room. Zach Durfee did not practice. Chuma Edoga was still out. Limited today, Jordan Lewis, Quentin Morris, Jalen McLeod. Of course, Cole Van Lanen still on the side. Jack Kaiser still on the side. Travis Hunter almost exclusively defensively again today for a second day in a row. Got some play offensively, ran a couple of counters, but primarily defense. Austin Trammell got a lot of burn today in the slot. You know, I thought it was a good running day, and, you know, I always give you the obligatory, well, you can't really tell this, you can't really tell that because they're not hitting full. And again, pads are off today. They were in Spiders. And, yeah, I just have this feeling about Chris Rodriguez, how he leans forward. He got bottled up a couple of times today when the defensive line swallowed him, but both yesterday and today, they've really ramped up the ball carrying of Chris Rodriguez. I have to believe today was the most active that he has been, the most carries that he's had in camp. Remember, he was a pleasant surprise. We talked about it right on the eve of camp. I thought there was a chance that he would join Cole Van Lanen and possibly be on the PUP. He wasn't. We saw him come out initially and work individually, right, in some drills. Then a couple of days later, started to take handoffs individually, and then it led to teamwork. For me to say that he's full go, I think that's fair at this point. And again, they've really picked up what he has done. So I'm liking Chris Rodriguez. And, you know, Bayshell Tootin spoke with us a little bit earlier today. I really believe that Chris Rodriguez in short yardage is going to be a big-time factor in this thing. He's different from what they've had in quite some time. Trying to remember, maybe Fournette. I mean, who was really, maybe Robinson. Boy, he fell off. The earth is flat, isn't it? My goodness, whatever happened to James Robinson? I mean, that is just incredible to think about. You go into that season, and he was probably considered a top 5 Jaguar. Let's see. Louisville Kings, 2026 to present. What's that, arena? It is. No, it's the UFL. Okay. It's owned by The Rock. This guy played for the Jags. I mean, they cut Leonard Fournette and handed him the ball and had a great year. Then he got injured and he just never recovered. Trent Baalke was not a fan. He went from the Jaguars to the Jets to the Patriot, and these are all practice squads, all right? When he was cut by the Jags, he went to the Jets, got cut by the Jets, then he went practice squad to the Patriots, Giants, Packers, where he was brought to the game day roster, and the Saints. And it looks like he took 3 years off and is now working in the UFL. Too bad. Really enjoyed him. He ran a 4.64, that's why. 2,264 yards. He averaged 4.4 per. 18 rushing touchdowns in the career for James Robinson. So, I mean, that first year in 2020, man, 14 games, 240 carries, 1,070 yards, an average of 4.5. Then the next year, his carries were cut in half. Not cut in half, but he went from 240 to 164, but his average went up to 4.7. And he had 767 rushing yards. I mean, he had 15 touchdowns rushing in 2 years. And then it just didn't work in 2022. He was gone. Man, this game, man, don't blink. I always try to figure out what really went on. I don't know if he wasn't fast to begin with, and maybe after the injury, they just said, that's it. Enough is enough. 53-54 Ballou on top of the long-term lease in the new stadium. Some data company came out with the franchise rankings based on local percent of local population involved with team sport. Jacksonville came 13th above AFC. I saw that. They were ahead of Boston. They were ahead of New York. They were ahead of LA. I mean, it was interesting. I didn't really study the graphic all that much. As a matter of fact, Kendra Middleton, I believe it was her who tweeted it out, and I was like, wow. One of her colleagues was in town today, Albert Breer, who does a lot of things for the hub in Boston, and of course he's with Sports Illustrated. But he put together a pretty good piece today, and I did speak for quite some time today with Albert Breer. We're going to have him on the show soon. I do want to wait certainly until the regular season gets underway. I also talked a lot. Do you know who Asher Grobman is?
Actor.
Yeah. He was there today.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's going to come in and join us. He says when he can't listen live, he listens on demand. He's based out of New York.
That tracks.
And they film out of Montreal. So I learned that today. But he's just a good kid. He's a youngster, man. He's like your age. He's probably, I don't know. I'm guessing he's in like his late 30s or something like that. But he's a big time Jags fan. I asked him, I said, how you a Jags fan? He said, I grew up, my dad was a lifelong Detroit Lions fan. He said he sat him down and his younger brother down and said, you're not allowed to be a Detroit Lions fan because it's going to be a lifetime of misery, okay? Because the Lions are like the Browns. I mean, there are 4 teams that have never been to a Super Bowl. Those two, Jacksonville and Houston. Okay? The only 4 teams. There are 12 teams who have never won a Super Bowl. There are 4 who have never been. So he picked Jacksonville in its infancy in 1995. And he's been with them ever since. It was pretty funny, though. He's like, yeah, every time the Jaguars really are down and can't win, have had down years, the same thing has happened in my career. I can't find work. And he goes, and then they get good, and, I get plenty of work, and I'm doing well. So it was good to hear from him today. He's a big-time Jags fan. He did that schedule release. That was very popular. I don't know if he did that last year or if he did that 2 years ago or whatever it was, but certainly I remember it, and that was a big-time hit for the folks in Duval. Final break coming up. Let's do that. Hacker Nation saw him out, as I do every day, at the Miller Electric Center, and he'll join you coming up at 8 o'clock.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
I'm Rick Ballou. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration for sports fans. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states, including right here in Florida. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era. Remember the date, September 2nd. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code 1010XL, spend $5 and get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim, issued in non-withdrawable. Predictions, dollars that expire in 1 year, ends August 23rd. Terms, dkng.co/predictions promo, nationwide based on sportsbook predictions, and free-to-play sports contest availability varies by state.
Frank Frangie here for my friends at Coil Fencing. You've heard me talk about our Bregan baseball complex with walk-off charities, and we needed a batter's eye. Nobody knew how to do it. Coil figured it out, and it is great. Since then, Coil & Sons has completed hundreds of projects, including most recently our football fields at Fort Family Park. The bottom line is they do everything. They do it well. It looks great. I trust Coil & Sons. You can too. Since 1927, they've been getting it right. CoilJacks.com, COYLE Jacks.com. That's where you find them. A proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Come to Monahan Jewelers store-wide 40 to 50% off sale going on now for a very limited time. Everything on display is 40 to 50% off at Monahan Jewelers. We've bought so much brand new jewelry, we need to make room for it. Diamond jewelry, engagement semi-mounts, colored gemstones, even gold chains. Right now, everything on display at Monahan Jewelers is 40 to 50% off. Jewelry's going quick, so come to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hey, Hicken here. Summer air should feel fresh, not full of dust, allergens, and whatever Florida critter has been crawling around your ducts this year. Sounds gross, right? Well, it is. And your air ducts are the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, you're breathing that every day. That's where Zero Res comes in. Guys, just because you can't see in there doesn't mean you can avoid it. This month only, take $100 off air duct cleaning. That's cleaner air, better efficiency, and a fresher home, guaranteed. Call 287-5727 or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and ask for the 1010XL special.
This is Hayes Carlion for First Florida Credit Union. I went to the branch on 210 to get my car loan and had a fantastic experience. I got a great rate and was in and out. The online banking services are also outstanding. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
Hello, all you Jacksonville sports fans. Don here from Taco Lou. If you're in the mood for some great tacos, cold Dos Equis, maybe even a sip of some fine tequila, then the Lou is calling your name. Come out to Jack's Beach and experience what many have dubbed the #1 taco in the 904. There are plenty of great taco joints in town, and we're proud to have been around for this long, and we have only you, the fine people of Jacksonville, to thank for helping us grow and become who we are today. Cheers to you, Jacksonville, and thank you from the Lou crew. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Hacker Nation is here. Good to see you.
Yeah, busy week. Obviously, tomorrow is going to be a lot of fun with the joint practice and two teams that are really, really banged up. I was talking to the folks in Charlotte, and they were without 4 starters on the offensive line.
Both tackles
last week for their preseason game. So I don't really know what we're going to see tomorrow down at the Miller Electric Center.
And they lost Nick Scorton. Remember, he went down early on. That might have been during the off. Was that during
No, it was
OTS?
literally like the first training camp practice.
Boy,
and remember,
man.
they came in a week early because of the Hall
That's
of Fame
right.
game.
That was it.
So he got hurt like July 21st or something, and they lost their 3rd-round pick, Brazil, the kid from Tennessee, for the year. They've had 2 season-ending injuries already.
There've been a ton of injuries around the league, and again, that is certainly evident here. I'm always one of those who enjoys the moment and can wait until it gets here. But I'll tell you, tomorrow morning's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it. We haven't had a joint practice here in a couple of years. They're always great, and it's always really good work, and it's the way the NFL is trending. Now, what I don't want is the nonsense in California today. Did you see the Saints and the Cowboys? They got into like 6 fights.
No, that's too much.
And a couple of melees. Like, they were like serious fights. I mean, I get it. Tempers flare, but cut the nonsense. 6 fights in a joint practice is preposterous. I don't think we'll see that. Dave Canales and Liam Cohen are friends. I think they'll get good work in. And 2 teams that are both coming off division titles, 2 teams that surprised last year. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being down there tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I think fans are involved in this.
I believe so, yeah.
Tomorrow. I want to say that's the case. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but you have tomorrow and then next week, you'll go against Tampa Bay twice. We know that starters will not play against Tampa Bay. Very interested in how fluid this remains. If Jacksonville, is just off the chart good tomorrow offensively and defensively, do you call them off on Friday night? Then again, the chances of that happening, I think, are pretty slim. I'm told that those Carolina players right now, the coaches are, like coming out of a hornet's nest. So I would expect Carolina's going to show up. So I think it's a mixed bag. So I think they do play on Friday night.
Carolina's not happy with their performance against Buffalo in the last preseason game. I mean, look, I understand starters need to play. I understand the fans want to see starters out there on Friday. What do we know right now? We know Cole Van Lannon, Patrick McCarry, Chuma Edoga, and Wyatt Milam are not going to participate in the joint practice or in the game on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to put Trevor Lawrence back there without 4 of your top 9 offensive linemen? And you're going to have to mishmash things. You have to move people around. We still really don't know Walker Little's status and where he is right now. To me, the cons just outweigh the pros. I don't need to see Trevor Lawrence go out there and complete a 16-yard down and out. I know he can do that. I'd much rather see him do that in September and not worry about putting him behind a makeshift offensive line on Friday night.
I wouldn't play him, and I know the other way of thinking is, well, just run and throw some short stuff. All right, well, if they run and do some short stuff and the defense is aware of that and he doesn't perform well and the first-team offense doesn't perform well, then all of a sudden you're like, well, you better play him against Tampa. Look at what they did. He comes from the Sean McVay tree, and their identity is they don't play starters in the preseason. So maybe one series Friday night, but I'm with you. I would not. There's about 5 or 6 guys, Eric Armstead, Travis Hunter. I'm not going to play, I don't want to play Brian Thomas Jr. I don't want to play Trevor Lawrence. There's a bunch of guys I just do not want to throw out there. I
would play the starting defense with the exception of maybe Armstead. I wouldn't mind seeing the defense out there. I wouldn't mind seeing, the running backs. Because, now with LaQuint Allen, it's interesting, but I think Bashal Tootin and Chris Rodriguez could probably use a little bit of time, but under no circumstances am I playing Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. I know you got a lot coming up. We'll get out of here. O'Halloran did make an interesting point. I guess Amir Abdullah got a ton of carries last week in practice. That's why he was not dressed. A lot of people made a big deal about him and Matt Dickerson not being among the 31 players who did not get a chance to play. Sorry, we've gone long. What do you have tonight?
No problem. I got C.J. Williams, rookie wide receiver for the Jaguars. First time I've talked to him. Man, did I enjoy that conversation. Fun. Oh, my gosh.
What a brilliant guy.
Really is. Real engaging young man. I'm a big fan of his already. C.J. Williams is going to join us. Then we will go to Charlotte. The Mac Attack, Chris McClain, WFNZ in Charlotte, will join us tonight to give us the Panthers' perspective on the joint practice tomorrow.
All right, Hack. Have fun. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Rick.
It's going to do it for us. Absolutely enjoyed C.J. Williams. Remember, I asked him about the chip on the shoulder, being a 6th-round pick, and he's like, I want to prove people right. People who believe in me. And I was like, damn. Kid's got some zen. He's got the right attitude. No doubt about it. All right, Jabar Muhammad, thank you. Ryan O'Halloran, thank you. Our producer, Jared Justice, thank you. I am Rick Ballou. Tomorrow morning, the Miller Electric Center. No place I'd rather be. The Jags, full padded practice against the Carolina Panthers. We'll have updates all day long, and I'll join you at 6 o'clock tomorrow night.